So we'll get these boards out here drying out in the sunshine. But I got another project I almost forgot about, and as long as the weather's good, I might as well get it done. But I've got the bucket here for the Bobcat. Now that bucket came with the Bobcat when I bought it. It was a home-built bucket, which there's nothing wrong with that. It was scabbed up out of parts and stuff like that. And they did a not too bad job on it. I can't complain about that at all. It's got the bob tack here on it that's welded on, and then a bucket that's welded up there. And it had a cutting edge welded on this end with some teeth on it. So anyway, it worked pretty good. A couple of years ago it started breaking loose. The bottom section of this bob tack started coming loose. So I rebuilt it. I got some angle iron and put in here and welded new tabs on there on both sides. Well, this one over here on the left side is broke loose on the bottom again. Well, I'm not exactly easy on this bucket. It takes a pretty good beating. I did as good a job of welding on as I could for that little 130 amp wire feed welder that I got that I used on it. I was bumping right up against the duty cycle on it and penetration on it and stuff. And anyway, it did a pretty good job for a few years. It looks like it hooked on a rock or something when I was back blading or something like that. But it's time to clean that up a little bit while the weather's nice. Get the grinder out, clean that up a little bit, and weld that back up. Get that fixed back up again. I got the bucket all set up to weld that bracket back on there again, or weld it where it was broken. I got it ground out real nice. There's a pretty good gap in there I'm going to have to fill. I got the big hammer and tried to close it up, but there's so much spring in that bucket and it's sprung out of shape so bad that I couldn't get it to come any closer than what it is. So anyway, we'll have to fill the gap there. And I'm using my Miller 211 wire feed welder, and I've got some CO2 on there. I bought that in Anchorage in 2015 when we went up and got the fuselage for the airplane. I'd built a rack for the pickup to go up there to put the airplane on. I put it together here, and I've been using that Century 130 for years. I built a lot of stuff with it, but I built that rack with it, but I didn't finish it. When we got up to Anchorage, I borrowed one of these from the guy we were staying with up there and finished it, and it was so much different, so much better welder than that Century 130 that I went and bought one for a Christmas present for myself. That's what I used on the porch here and stuff to build it, and a few other things. I did a little bit of work on the airplane fuselage with it, and it works pretty good. I haven't used it for quite a while, so we'll see how we do with it. But that poor old bucket is getting so worn. It's got holes wore in it through the bottom, and it's sprung pretty bad. It might be time to order a new bucket, but meanwhile I'll patch this one up, and it does the job, so I get that done so it doesn't come apart on me when I'm scooping stuff up, and we'll be needing it for plowing snow here before long. Well, my battery's dead on my helmet, so I'll have to see if that'll charge up in the sunshine here or not. Well, I think that looks pretty good for who it's for. Had a heck of a time with it. I got these cheap nozzles or electrodes that from China, and they just don't work very well in that. They stick out too far and they don't thread in right. Well, I finally went out and dug out a good Tweco one and put in there, and it worked a lot better. Anyway, it's pretty ugly, but it should hold pretty good. There's a lot of material in there. It's better than it was. Hold for another, I don't know how long it's been since I built that now, about 5 years, I guess, 4 or 5 years. So anyway, if it holds that long, that'll be pretty good. I think I'm going to order a new bucket, a good heavy-duty bucket. I use this one for rock work and stuff like that, sacrificial bucket, and then use the other one for better stuff. But this one's still working, so I might need to, yeah, there's a crack right there. And of course that side is broke loose. I tried to pull it back together here a few years ago and I couldn't get it, but I might try it again, I don't know. And then I got a couple holes in the bucket here where it's wearing through. But it's had some hard use digging up all that rock and stuff. Can't complain about that.